Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of the Real Medz podcast, where we talk about life, relationships, business, parenting, kids, love. We talk about it all. And on this episode, ain't no different. We have a real situation going on, and the situation is this. We got a 17-year-old kid even asking his mommy, what happened? Why you got a scar on your eye? Mommy, why you got a scar on your eye? He keep asking her, but she didn't want to tell him because she's trying to protect the relationship between the son and the daddy. She's been in an abusive relationship, but the son don't know that. So her son just keep asking her, Mommy, what happened? Mommy, why you got this scar on your eye? Where that scar come from? She didn't want to tell him. So you know what DK did? You know what I did? Y'all know what I did, right? I know y'all know what I do. What I do? Y'all know what I did. Went out, asked 10 people, got 10 responses, 10 perspectives, and now guess what? Y'all get to see it. So you know what I want y'all to do? Watch it, like it, comment, share with your friends, and give me y'all advice. Let me know what y'all think about it. Peace. See y'all on the next side. Let's go. Let's get it. 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 His mom has been in an abusive relationship, and she has a scar on her eye. And now he's asking her questions like, Mom, what happened? Mom, what happened? But she don't want to tell her son what happened because she's trying to protect the relationship between the dad and the son. What kind of advice would you give in that situation? Like he's asking her, actively asking her, but she don't want to say.
How old is your son?
17. Another reason why she don't want to tell him is because she knows that her son a hothead, and anything behind mom, he lose it behind mom.
I can understand that. So the question is whether or not she should tell him or not?
Yes.
It's tough on DK.
What's your solution to it? How would you play it out?
Well, I mean, that'd be a good question for that young man to go up to talk to his dad about, and let his dad answer that question. And I'm gonna say this here because
he would ask his dad, "Hey, Dad, what happened to Mom?"
Because it's a twofold thing. Because it would show that young man that Mom is not trying to paint the illusion that Dad was a bad guy and he hurt me, which he actually probably did. But then he would hear it firsthand from Dad if Dad would tell the truth. And it would allow him the ability to go to his dad, to grow up and learn a little bit, and to face that question head on. And if his dad is truthful, then maybe he get a better understanding why the relationship didn't work. Because no woman should stay in an abusive relationship. So I can see why she may be hesitant about telling him. Because, like you said, if he gets hot, kind of upset, like I probably would do behind my wife, I can totally understand why she would do that because of that reason. Has she ever said, "Hey, did you ever consider go ask your dad?"
I don't think she has.
That's what I would do.
It's a good route to take.
That's what I would do because it would take her off the loop. It wouldn't make him feel that, it wouldn't seem like that she's trying to say anything derogatory toward the dad. Does he like his dad?
Yes.
You look up to his dad?
Yes.
I still say there's a question that I would ask him to tell him to go talk to your dad about that and see how you answer that.
I'm just thinking now of if I was in a situation and my mom said go ask your dad, automatically that raised a red flag in my mind. Like, okay, my dad have something to do with this? Now I really want to know.
That's true. I mean, that's a tough question, DK, but if I know my wife, If my son would ask a question like, she tell it. She tell it. But me, I think that'd be an answer to come from the dad. I really think so. If the question was that, you know, this has a friend who has a son, the mom has a scar on her eye.
She's in an abusive relationship. And he's 17, he's asking her, hey mom, what happened? Why you got a scar on your eye? She don't want to answer because she's trying to protect the relationship of the son and the dad. And she knows that her son is a hothead. He'll lose it if he finds out something happened to her mama, happened to his mom. So she's having a hard time. They having a hard time in that area. So he says he think that the mom should tell him, hey, ask your dad.
Does mom and dad still kind of talk? They can all three have a sit down and talk about that. I mean, so therefore, you know,
it's the three of them. That sounds dangerous.
Well, I mean, and I say because this here, if you know, say, hey, my son was asking me. I said, son, ask your dad what you been, you know, and then let dad ask that question. And then dad kind of beats around the bush, you know, then maybe later on, mom can probably tell it, you know. But I think, well, I know how I went, because I'll tell you this here. There's some questions that my son has about his biological. And there's some questions that he asked me, and I said, there's gonna come a time, son, where me, you, and your dad, and mom, we have talking. Where the time came, DK. He came down here in Medz, the Brazos Mall down here. And we sit there, and he asked him, why haven't you been in my life? He said,
what a question.
He did, because I've never badmouthed him to my son. Never. I'm not gonna. I was on the receiving end. I never do that. He asked him, so he kind of like, and I'm kind of like, okay. He growing up in action now. He said truthfully, you know, I was kind of hot. I was hot-headed, you know, and I didn't want to listen to him. I didn't think I had to answer another man about my son, this and that. You know, when the man took care of you, he raised you, he did everything that I couldn't do. He said it wasn't his fault, it was my fault, because I just didn't want to come around. I was too busy doing this, doing that. So I applauded him for saying that, because I never kept him away from seeing his son. Mm-hmm. Never. And sometimes I think the best information given, and that way the information coming to the person who the question can be asked to, because you don't want that person, God forbid that he feels that mom is trying to say stuff bad about his dad to put dad down.
Right.
That's why I say if they all three get down and talk, it's better received by that young man coming out. Now, to do that, if you say you got a highlight like that, maybe bring a friend along who can probably handle that young man. But I think, or no, get on a two-way conversation on the phone. But I don't.
That's a conversation that's worth having over the phone, though.
No, that kind of question's not. But I'm thinking about if he's hothead like that,
right?
To where you don't know physicality going on. But a question like that is probably better. It is better being talked about in person, face to face. Because you see, I like talking in person, DK, because I get to see your expressions,
see raw emotions.
Oh yeah, and it's you can tell when the person is lying to you, when you're trying to fill in the gaps with untruth. Right. You can tell it from me, just like we're not talking that. You can feel it, you can tell it.
Right.
And so then that gives dad an opportunity to step up and be truthful with his son, and you'll tell, and you know, and he have the opportunity to tell the truth or qualification not to tell the truth. And then maybe later on, if he don't tell the truth, then okay, well, I gave your dad the opportunity to tell you what went on. So this is the truth of what happened.
I hope it don't go that way.
I hope it don't either.
It's gonna break that son.
You know what?
Break his trust. Break everything.
But the thing about it is that young man, he'll get over it. He'll get over it. That's gonna be an initial shocker to him. It will be. And it's gonna be initial shocking because of the emotions that he loved his dad and so on and so forth, which is great. But then again, a young man's true love is his mother. That's his first true love, his mother on this earth. That's the first woman he gonna see. It's the first woman he's gonna love. And the way he protects his mom, you gonna dictate the way he protects the next woman he has a relationship with. And so therefore, and also, you got to break that cycle because you don't know what spiritual stuff you fed to your son.
Right.
So, case an example with my dad. There's some ways I did not want to be like my dad. You know, a lot of people say, this is the way my dad, I'm doing this because this is the way my mother and father did me. No. At some point in time, you got to grow up and break that cycle. So you can't keep this cycle. So in other words, what I did, I said, you know what? When I get sons in my life, I'm going to make sure I'm there for them every game, whatever I can do to be there for them. And I've succeeded except for my first son, except for my firstborn. But I made sure that these two, I was a part of their life. So now I'm faced with the issue with my oldest, my first son. So now it'll have to be a barrier that he's going to have to break. I can no longer do that for him. He's a grown man. I can't do that. So this young man that you're speaking of, when a woman is present, when a woman is pregnant, DK, and carrying a child, whatever she goes through, that fetus is gonna feel. If she cries all the time, if she hates, if she loves, that baby, that fetus is gonna have those same emotions. Why? Because she's feeding him. She's feeding him. Those emotions, food, everything else. So the baby gonna come out with those same emotions. Sensitive or whatever the case may be. Same thing with this young man here. You know, he could, you don't know, I don't know what kind of spirits this man or spirituality has that's going to feed down into this son. So he needs to be truthful with his son to help his son heal and move on. The point is to tell the truth to help his son heal and move on from this. Much less the woman, because she got to get past this stuff too. So I don't know how long it'll happen, but now she's gonna have some trust issue with another man, loving him, or whatever the case may be, because in the back of her mind, fear has set in now because this man has hit her. Now she don't trust nobody else. So now the young man got to heal himself, she got to heal himself, and so does the dad. She got three people that need healing. So that one conversation, those three can conquer a whole lot of that in one session. And would it be some stuff that have to, what I'm looking for?
Take it in stages?
Yeah. But now you got a foundation. But, so how long is this man gonna go without knowing? So, best now to take it at an early age. If dad want to tell the truth. If not, then mom take up the arm, take up the torch, and let him know what happened. Then he gonna go back and really ask his dad. So you don't want the backlash from mom telling him to go. So you rather have him in a session and talk it through. That's just my opinion. It could be wrong to others.
And that's the thing, is it all comes down to a matter of opinion.
Back in the day, the Word of God teaches us, if you have a disruptive member in the body, go to that person and talk to him. They don't hear you, take a witness with you. That's why we have witnesses in trials today. So, and then if the person don't do it after the second time, the third time, bring that person before the church. We don't do that no more these days. Bring them before the congregation, before the church, and let the church know what's going on. The purpose is for it not to come to the church, hopefully get stifled before all those steps. See, we too afraid these days to go to a person and tell them that, hey man, you offended me. Hey man, what you said, I didn't like that. Or hey man, and see, when we do that, we get angry the next day. The second day we get angry. The third day we get angrier. And now it comes to the point that if I see you walking down the grocery store aisle and I see you, I'm turn around and walk the other way because I won't deal with you. So taking care of the issue right there and right there. Those are things that our pastor taught us that the Bible teaches us, that because people, we don't know that. We rather hate you and not speak to you. The Word of God says, How can you love me, who you never seen, and hate your brother who you see every day?
Makes no sense.
It make no sense. But that's what we do, DK. That's what we do. How many people hate me in uniform because what the other officer did to them? I had nothing to do with it.
Probably a whole lot.
A whole lot. But you gonna blame me for what somebody else did? That ain't right. That ain't right at all. But that's what we do. That's what we do. So there's a whole lot of stuff, DK, that we need to fix. But that young man, that mom, my opinion, need to go have a sit down with the three of them and talk. And maybe have a mediator. Mediators are always good. Someone who's non-biased, who don't have anything to gain on either side. Strictly down the middle.
I think that's a beautiful answer.
I
I think it's a good solution.
I think it'll work. Matter of fact, I know it'll work. Sometimes we need mediators because sometimes we're too scared to say something. But I tell you what, that right there, my wife, you talking about who just tell you whether you want to like it or not, and don't care how you feel about it, and keep it moving. Cause you do it to me.
Hey, you know what that means? You and my wife have a lot of common there. That's exactly what that means.
I'll tell you that. She and so
I'm the one, I'm gonna hold my breath a little bit first, but she, as soon as it happens, she gonna address it.
Yeah.
Right there and then. She not gonna wait till tomorrow or 5 minutes later or no.
And that's how it should be because and I'm still learning that. The quicker you face that issue, the less time it has to build and build and build and build and build. So now now that has turned into anger and discontent to where that now I'm having bad feelings.
Do you think that situation she should tell him? Because that's her past.
How old is the son?
17.
When did that happen?
Dang, you get deep, huh? So I guess all that stuff matters, huh?
Right, because at some point in time as a young man, you know, testosterone kicks in, you start feeling a certain way, you start feeling more of like a protector. You know, at some point you feel like I can take my dad because you feel like physically, you know, you're a young lion. So at some point, okay, say like 17, he could be a junior, senior, high school.
Right.
At some point, she'll either have to tell him and he'll have to make the conscious decision.
Right.
Am I gonna fight this man? Or am I gonna realize there can't be two kings in this house and one of us is gonna have to go?
So let's say he was 11 years old when it happened, but she still had the scar on her eye from that time.
And it happened like a while ago?
Yes.
I think in that situation, it's up to the mom if she wants to, because you never know. The son could have like a great relationship with his dad, and his dad could have over time, it happened, but maybe him and the mom reconciled.
Right.
And she may have forgave him. So if she just tells him, oh, this is what your father did to me, without explaining the whole situation, sitting him down together, mom, dad, and son together, and explaining what happened, then the son can get the wrong ideas like, oh, my dad just went upside my mom's head.
Right.
But you can explain the whole situation and what happened, you know, maybe things can be reconciled. That's not to say that the son is gonna not react or react in a positive way or a negative way, because we can't control his emotions, but maybe over time he can see, okay, my dad made a mistake, my parents reconciled, and maybe his dad's probably telling him, but you should never do it. It's wrong, I messed up, you know, don't ever do it again.
Right.
And haven't done it since.
I don't think it's about telling him. I think she should leave the man. I think that's the easy answer. She should leave him.
But your son asking you, you can tell your son or you're not gonna tell your son?
Well, if he's been asking over and over, I will be working up to leave the dude, and I'll probably tell him after.
Tell him after you leave. Why after?
I would only tell him before if I feel like I'm in danger to where I can't leave. So I would tell him if I need his assistance. But I'm a firm believer in, like, a lot of people say this about me, especially guys. They always be like, you don't like answering questions. So if he was asking me that, I probably wouldn't even answer. Like, I don't really, even though I'm doing this with you, this podcast, this is different. But like, in a regular setting, like, I don't really like to answer questions. Like, when people be like, where you at? Like, I've had guys who might be like, where you at? And I'd be like, oh, I'm just doing a podcast. Like, I might say what I'm doing, and I might not say where I'm actually at. So I have a problem with answering questions.
Why?
So, I don't know, it just gives me very much so, why are you questioning me? Like, especially, I only allow somebody to ask me questions if I can ask them questions. But if you just ask me questions, like, it's giving, like, you my peers. Like, why are you asking me? And then I'm wondering the why. Like, what's the vendetta behind these questions? Now, once I get to a point of a genuine relationship with somebody, I know they just like a friend. Like my brother, which he not my brother, he really my homeboy, but so my brother, he can call me and be like, "What you want? Like, what you got going on?" I'ma just tell him, like, because I know he ain't asking for no other reasons. So once I know that about a person, we good on the question. But initially, on the surface standpoint, like, nah, why you asking like these questions? So if it was my son,
you had a guard up or something.
Yeah, I'm the Great Wall of China, so you gotta be ready to climb. So if it was my son, I probably wouldn't answer the question, and I would be eventually trying to leave. I would answer it if I needed it. If I needed him to help me, I'd be like, yeah, this was going on, I'm trying to leave. So I would advise her to leave. That's first, but then later she probably should tell her son, just because. You know, when you have relationships with people, you wanna feel open with them, and you want them to feel open with you. So you don't want to just withhold information. Sometimes it ain't always the right time to say something though. So that's what I believe. So it may not be the time for her to tell him that, because I don't think she should be trying to protect the relationship between him and the dad. I think it's really just about, you know, not allowing things to escalate in the wrong direction. Like, if she's left him and then she tell the son, like, he still might feel some type of way, but he not gonna feel as like, I gotta go handle this right now. But if she's still in the same house with this man and she like, yeah, this is what he doing, like, the son gonna wanna pop up right now today, he ready to fight, he ready to go crazy. But if she's severed the time, it's not went their separate ways, and then she tell him, it's a little different. So I think she should get rid of his tail ASAP, and then tell the son, like, yeah, you know, this is what we're going on. But if she care about protecting the relationship, then I mean, I wouldn't never do this. But what do you protect it? Because through this man, he has no regard for you. I would be protecting it now. Me and my son done with you. We gone. But that's, you know, that's very like, that's kind of been that's having a vendetta. And I think that's not. You should allow the son to decide. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, I was just watching Love and Basketball. It's almost like that. You remember when the dad was cheating and he apparently got some girl pregnant, and then the mama showed the son the pictures of the dad. Yeah, you got it. I ain't watched Love and Basketball in years, and if I hadn't just watched, I probably wouldn't have looked either. But yeah, so the dad was tricking on the mama. And he was telling the son, like, yeah, it's some girl out there saying I'm her baby's daddy. And then the son was like, well, I mean, he's like, if you didn't hear me say it, no, like, it's not my kid. Like, but then when he went to go see his mom was crying. She showed him pictures of the daddy tricking. And then he wasn't rocking with his daddy. So I think you should give a person the opportunity to see who somebody is and decide if they want to still rock with them. But you shouldn't, even though I said me and my son dealt with you, that would be kind of being funny. But serious, but that was like the woman emotional side. The male logical side, because you know women are emotional, men are logical. The male logical side, I feel like, yes, she should tell him, but she should not try to sway him whether he should do that or not. She should allow him to decide.
And I think that, I'm glad you said that, because I think in a lot of situations, people don't allow the other person to make that decision themselves.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times we influence people. And I've had my fair share too. You know, you gotta learn. You gotta know what you. And I'm a pretty convincing person, so I try to take steps back and not be convincing people. And I know how to. Once you know how to really move people, it's almost like being able to get information out of somebody, you know, but in a different kind of way, without looking like you was trying to get the information.
I would tell her no. I wouldn't tell him, because she knows he's her child. She knows he has a hot head, probably because of his dad has a hot head if he's hitting her, you know.
Right.
And to sever that relationship, and I would tell my husband to tell him. I wouldn't tell him. I would give him that opportunity to tell him and then explain to him why he did it and why he was wrong in doing it and why he would never do it again. I would kind of get myself out of it and let him know, you're going to tell him.
That's how you would go about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Yeah, I mean, he did it. The husband did it to her. And the son is inquiring why or what happened. She doesn't want to be the liar. She doesn't want to lie to him. But then you don't want to protect your husband's wrongdoing either. Right. So that's when you tell him, yeah, you're going to tell him. You did it.
did it. Own up to what you did. Huh?
Yeah. Was it your temper? Was you triggered? And then once he realizes, man, I don't want my son to grow up doing this and thinking this is right, then he can come to him man to man and talk to him. And I think his son would receive it better from him than mom saying, your dad hit me. He's gonna go, yeah.
So that's a conversation for the dad to have.
Absolutely.
Got you.
It's crazy because that's basically. I mean, if you put me in that situation as far as my mom, she needs to tell me. Period.
Okay, you're looking at it from the child standpoint. Now let's look at it from the parent standpoint.
But how long? Okay, well, if you don't want to tell me, then there's nothing I can do about it.
You as a child, what you gonna do about it?
At what child? At what age am I this child?
17.
I need to know.
But you just said you ain't nothing you can do about it. What you gonna do about it?
Man, that's a relationship that I have to tarnish with my father. I would have to. Because that's my mother, that's not your child. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're looking at it in that situation or that aspect, put yourself in that situation with your child, your daughter. Would you want your daughter to let you know what's going on if a dude putting his hands on your daughter?
Definitely.
But your daughter know you're a hothead, so how would you go about that? That's a relationship that I have to tarnish between my daughter and her dude. I will have to tarnish that relationship between myself and my father. I have to. The way that I was raised, when you don't put your hand on a woman, nor a child.
No.
I don't. That if I'm 10, 11, it's still in the back of my mind for when I get older.
Right.
We still gonna have to see about it. I'm gonna hold that grudge until I get old enough to talk to you.
What about the women that put their hand on the men first? Because you said you don't never put your hand on a woman. Because I've seen a lot of videos and stuff where women they hitting these dudes, hitting them, and the dudes hold them back, and they finally let them have it.
Yeah, but if it gets to the point where I'm dealing with a female and you decide that you have to put your hands on me, I don't need to be with you. I'm gonna leave you in that aspect.
I agree with that 100%.
You know what I mean? But some women feel like they put their hand on a dude and the dude hit them back. They feel that that's the way he expresses himself. That's love from him to her. That's why they hit people. You know what I mean? So if I have to hit you to show you that I love you, I don't need to be with you.
Got you.
No.
So to answer that question, the mama should tell her son.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, because how long would she be able to hide that?
I guess as long as she keep telling him.
As long as you now, if it decides to go any further, and my father end up killing you, this is something that you hear back from me that could have been resolved a long time ago. He not gonna tell the truth. Right. He not gonna say what happened.
Right.
The only person that could have told what really happened in this situation would be you. But you're not here. This could have been resolved 5-6 years ago.
Right.
He would have been out of the house. We just have to settle it. Either I'm gonna take the butt whooping or he gonna take it. One of the two. One of the two. You know what I mean? I mean that's just how I look at life, man. It's I don't understand men that put their hand on me. I don't either. So that's something that you would have to tell me.
So I'm big on like not lying, but I'm also on timing is essential. You know what I'm saying? So you can't. I think timing. Time heals all. I am a believer in that. Right. So telling them at the right time can, I think, make the situation right. It's also the way that you say it. You know,
time and the way you say it.
Yeah, the way that you communicate and the time. So time for one, don't just, out the blue, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it is out the blue because it just depends on the timing. But the way that you say it, especially if you're saying that you're trying to make sure that they both are good on either side, just making sure that the communication is not one of anger. It's one of, I'm telling you this for understanding. You know what I'm saying?
That is a big difference.
Yeah.
Communication or the anger and communication or the understanding, it is a big difference.
Right. So you don't want to be like, hey, I'm telling you, so I'm hurt, versus, hey, this is what's going on, this is what happened. I didn't tell you before because I figured this would probably be your reaction. I'm not telling you this to upset you,
right?
But I just want to let you know so you understand the situations and, you know what I'm saying, and go forward with those. I've learned that if you tell people the truth, let them make their own decisions. You see what I'm saying? Right. So that'd be one thing, so. I
guess because when you lie to them, you don't give them a chance to make no decision at all.
Yeah, you kind of like making their decision for them.
True,
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I would definitely say that you making the decision for them.
So I got a homeboy, right?
Mm-hmm.
His mom's, she been in an abusive relationship with his pops. She got a scar on her eye, right? And he asking her, Mama, what happened? She didn't want to tell him because she trying to protect the relationship between the daddy and the son. But he keep asking her, he didn't want to answer. She didn't want to answer. What kind of advice you give in that situation?
Man. Yeah, you coming with it. The mom need to keep it real with the son.
Another reason why she won't tell him is because she know her son a hothead.
This what I'm saying.
He's snapping behind mama.
This what I'm saying. This what I'm saying though. Like, just as much as he's a hothead, who's the only person that can cool you down? Mama. Like, me and my mom are so close like that. Like, we're so close with the same person. You know what I mean? Like, that's really my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? She trusts how she raised me. So it's like, I ain't one of those mama boys that just follow everything his mama said. No, that's my girl. Like, she gonna let me know when I'm right. She gonna let me know when I'm wrong. She treat me as a friend. Like, you know what I mean? Right. That's my mom's. Like, when I get when God bless me with my first house, she's getting that. That's gonna be her house. I stay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Crib to crib. The mom is the first crib first. You know? But be real with him. Be real. Tell him what it is so he can know what it is. Don't never, cause he'll be more hurt by his mama not telling him than his daddy actually doing it. You get what I'm saying? It might come a time where it's going down in there and she needs your help. And you don't know what's going on because she ain't telling you no. Tell me. I'd rather be scarred and hurt knowing that you told me before I lose you. Because domestic, you don't know, when it comes to domestic, you don't know what can happen so quickly and how efficiently that'll affect the kids.
So she just need to tell him.
Look, ma, let me know what's up. Let me know, please. And you know what? And I'm one of those people, I'm so emotional at times. If you don't tell me, I'm mad with you too. Because you let them do it and you don't want to tell me, so you could, I won't go by my grandma. That's funny, isn't it? I can't. And when I go with my grandma, I'm telling her everything. Cause grandma, she over there letting that man do this or do that, and she don't even want to tell you.
But you don't know though. You just know she got a scar.
Listen, she ain't get it from falling. My mom man clumsy. Yeah, you know your mama. You know her. Can't tell me no anything.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, she just been trying to protect the relationship between the son and the dad, because I guess she don't want her son to see.
At the end of the day, they have moms out there. That's the mama and the daddy.
Yeah. Anything behind mom goes.
Yeah. How old is the young man?
17.
Ooh. Even serious. 17-year-old could make something happen. You can move something at 17. What I would say is this: I think that if there's ever any untruth or hidden knowledge. It could be just like a prison to her, to the young man, to the entire situation.
If there's any unhidden knowledge.
Or if there's hidden knowledge, rather.
If it's hidden.
And then you're not being honest, because I'm going to be real with you. The scar is evident. Mom, what happened to your face? And then also some of her behaviors may be different too because of the abuse, right? And the young man sees it because a young man and the mom, you know this, there's a link there that, you know, there's a connection between a mother and a son that is undeniable. So a lot of the feelings that she feels, that young man feels. So now if you're not totally honest about it and you're hiding that knowledge, you know what I'm saying? It's like being in a prison and you don't even understand what's going on.
Who's been in the prison, the son or the mom?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Because she studied I can't tell him, I gotta fool him, I gotta do, see what I'm saying? And then he's not even understanding what's going on. Well, Mom, why don't you tell me what's happening? So there's a lot of frustration there. There's a lot of anger that can be bred there. But if you tell the truth, there's gonna be anger and frustration too. But the thing about it is, if you tell the truth, you can deal with the truth. But that untold stuff, how can you deal with something that nobody even talks about? But if I tell you the truth, like, dude, you gave me your car yesterday, man, and I ran it off into a ditch. I'm sorry, right? Instead, what if I just be like, oh man, I can't give you your car today, man. I got some more running around to do. Or I can't give you your car the next day, but if I tell you that, you can still be pissed off. Like, man, what you doing? You ran my car to this. Right. At least we got somewhere to start so that we can get through the situation and find a solution. So my thing to her is to slowly begin to tell him what happened. Share your feelings, share your heart. Don't just say this happened, that happened. Don't talk about events, the private events, but talk about your emotions, your feelings. And then begin to talk about those events in the midst of that. So then your son can have empathy and understand. Now he's gonna be mad at his dad. It may hurt the relationship, but in the long run, he deserves to know. Because the second part of this is that the sins of the fathers don't fall far from the sons. And he can have that same type of behavior with women if he doesn't understand what happened to his own mother. So I think she should tell him. But it needs to be in a controlled environment. Maybe she needs to have another trusted family member there, like an uncle or another man there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they can understand. But I really think that holding that back from that young man would be really bad. So she should tell him.
Okay.
That makes sense?
No, that make a lot of sense.
Okay.
Make a lot of sense. I've been getting a lot of different perspectives on this one question. So
yeah. And you know what? He's gonna get puffed up. He's gonna want to go at it. But that's okay. Because that's gonna fade after a while, bro. Right. But that frustration that comes from not knowing, like those secrets like that, Ricky learns when he's 45 years old. Man, that's why you was acting like that. That's why I'm mad as hell all the time. That's why this. But if you let him know now at 17, he can deal with that. Then maybe y'all can find the help y'all need, the therapy y'all need to get over this, to grow, to get past it. Or if you can't get past it, if you have triggers that make you feel a certain way, then at least y'all got a way of dealing with it. Right. But if it's just hidden, and by the way, you know, a lot of my family members did that, man. Like in the black household, you know what it was? We ain't gonna talk to nobody about this. We're gonna keep this right here. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, man, that leads to our demise and it hurts us in the end.
You think that's a form of, because I heard you said earlier, this is a mental health month.
Yeah.
You think that's a part of mental health, that situation?
Most definitely, because it deals with trauma, right? She's dealing with trauma from the abusive relationship, and then the son is dealing with trauma because he knows something's wrong, but no one's telling him. So now that's a hit on your mental health, right? that's something that goes against your mental health. Let's think of it this way. Mental health is just like our physical health. If you start eating crazy stuff, you go and start eating fast food every day, you start putting the crazy stuff in your body, what's going to happen?
I'm gonna feel the effects of that.
And your health is going to go down.
It's gonna decline.
Well, it's the same thing with our mental health. If we start putting bad things into us, if we start having bad things to happen to us, trauma start happening, all this stuff starts going on, then our mental health is going to start to fail as well. So how do we do that? How do we combat that? Just like with our physical bodies, we put vegetables into our body. We put things that are natural into our body. We drink more water. We exercise.
Right.
We can do those same things with our mental health by hearing the right things, by telling the truth, by dealing with the things that really bother us in our lives, so that then our mental health can match our physical.
I'd like to really answer your question. This will be an easy question for me because I'm a mom. I'm a boy mom, you know.
You a boy mom?
I'm a boy mom.
Right.
No, like, because
she shouldn't?
No, like, no. Because
so your son asking you, Mama, what happened? What's going on your eye, Mama?
oh yeah. Like,
You're not gonna tell your son.
I'm not gonna tell him. I'm not gonna
This is
tell him.
interesting. Why not?
Like, I can't lose my boy. I can't, like, look, man, that to me, I'm a mom. He's mine. He's mine. You know, I protect him. That is my job. This scar on my head is from me having to do what I had to fucking do to protect
Right.
you. You know, excuse the language, because, like, I'm actually getting into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, like, if I know my son's a hothead and just like that will stop and definitely over me, oh my God, no, because, like, look, I need you.
Right.
You know, I need you because if you snap and you go to jail, you do anything like that, when I need you the most, I won't have you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a time in the day you pick the battle, like I said, you know, and I would not tell him. I know it sounds crazy, but I would not tell him if I knew he would just lose it. You know, because I can't lose him. I can't lose him. I'm a mom. You stand behind me. You know, you stand behind me at all times. And when I need you the most, I will call on you.
Right.
You know, but I don't need you right now. You know, it's a scar for a reason because it's healed up. You know, I've healed up. But if you go on a rampage and the scar reopens, you know, and every time I look in it, I'm going to know that I don't have you anymore. I might not have somebody. You might try to kill the guy. You might go to jail. And every time I look at the scar, it no longer will be a warrior scar of me getting out of a situation or me defeating the situation. It's going to be a situation of what I've now influenced after so many years of it happening. You know, it's
Right.
the scars now, it shows me that my son is no longer here with me right now, or the
Man, she be on point, right? She be getting deep, man. She getting deep, on point.
yeah, man, like I'm not lying to you. That's just how I feel. Like that scar is
Right.
no longer a warrior scar. That's a reopened, wounded scar that I won't be able to close because I reopened it. I took that knife myself.
You see your son.
Yeah, I see my son.
Instead of me leaving the dude that put it there.
Right.
Yeah,
This is a survivor.
Which is his father.
right.
yeah, see,
Right.
yeah. So
Right.
yeah, she got out of it. She got out of it, and that's what that warrior scar is. That's a warrior scar, you know. But you just like you tell your son you reopen that scar, and that thing won't ever heal up. That's
So
how
your
I
son
see it.
coming to you every other week. Mama, what happened? Mama, Mama, why you not telling me?
Not to bite me. You know what I mean? You don't get mad at me for, you know, protecting some advice or some information that's just not your place to know. And sometimes
Do you think, not to cut you off, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead, you're good.
Do you think you not telling your son, do you think that'll break the trust between y'all two?
No, I can't. You know, as long as I did my part as a good mom. I mean, like, you're mad about a scar on my head, but if you can't look deeper into the meaning of it, you know, then I didn't do my part as a good mom, because there's more behind the scar. It's more behind me telling you the truth,
Right.
you know? So I think, like, of course, it will make him feel a little certain of way, but at the same time, he'll be a little bit more alert, you know what I mean? And that's what, I'd rather deal with him being a little bit more alert and at my house every week, you know, and protecting me, versus me being out of jail every week and just wondering, like,
Right.
you know, what are you doing?
That's heavy.
It is heavy.
That is heavy.
And I'm on the fence about it because he the type of kid, he gonna snap behind his mama. Anything goes behind mom.
How old is he now?
17.
He's 17. Oof. Wow. I can see why you're on the fence with that one.
Right.
Because you're talking about the kid's dad.
Right.
You know. Wow. That's
a tough one, huh?
That is a tough one.
What would you do?
But,
just give me your take on it.
I mean, if I was in his shoes, man, that's tough. That's tough. I would probably still lean towards sharing.
Right.
What happened? Yeah.
Okay.
And just kind of, I mean, if the father's not like that anymore,
Right.
I mean, you know, people grow, people make mistakes, and yet and still, it can still be used as a tool, a teaching tool.
Right.
And I know, it'll be some strain there between the child and the dad in the meantime, but that's part of getting past his mistake.
Right.
When you leave a scar,
Right.
Sometime down the line, that's the thing that comes out in the future, where they want to know. And so, in this case, it's something that he has to answer for.
He has to answer for it.
So,
okay,
okay,
that's a good answer.
That's my take.
And you did it. You made it to the very end. Thank you for watching this video. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I want to express my gratitude to each and every one of y'all that took your time out and supported me, supported my vision. You stuck to the end and watched every second of it. I am greatly, greatly, greatly appreciative of that. So what I want you to do now is don't forget to subscribe to it, like it, comment on it. Let's have a little dialogue in the comment section. Oh, and then call your sister. She might be on work or whatever. Just still call her. Say, sis, this video dope. You gotta check it out. And send it to your sister. And then call your best friend. Call her. Call your best friend. Call him right now. Right now. Like, pause the video, right? Let me give you a second to pause it. Pause the video. Call your best friends like, bro, you gotta check this one out, bro. This that video. Share it with somebody else. Let's spread awareness. Let's spread love. Other than that, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning into this video. Real Medz Podcast. Peace. Love.